Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and my very warm welcome to all of you at this fourth IPR Conclave. Uh, this is my third in the row that I'm attending, and I'm honored that I am co-chairing this with the very gracious and charming Debalina Pratap, who we all know. So just to make it very short, I just thought I will share with you two interesting things that happened 2 weeks back on Sunday, and they had some IP flavor. So I call my 2 weeks back Sunday as a lucky Sunday because that is a Sunday when I am able to convince my wife that, look, I cannot go out with you to visit one of the art exhibition that she would have selected and she wants me to come along, or she would have identified one of the farmers market where we can go and buy some organic food. I mean, I do like going to the organic market because there is sometimes very interesting things that you get there to eat. And I think I remember one of them had about 20 flavors last time I went of what we call in North India as gur, the jaggery, which was infused with different flavors. So I really enjoyed that. And I was quite tempted to ask that guy that, why don't you create some intellectual property around it? But anyway, leaving that, so that's my quiet Sunday afternoon, and I'm sitting at home. And when I'm sitting at home, I generally like to, browse through my iPad, and I'm watching the YouTube videos of a series which I like watching. It's an American series called Shark Tank, so shark as a fish. So this series is very, if you get time, probably you guys should go and watch this. This has four, angel investors who are self-made billionaires. So it's kind of a reality show where people go to them and pitch their ideas about, their business ideas and seek their support, both in terms of their money and their experience to grow their business. So this particular episode that I'm watching is a father and a daughter who've come up with a special formula. And this formula is about, a process and a product that, this is probably a bit offensive for people who are not non-vegetarian, but I blame Praveen who started with the seafood. So I should be fine. So they've come up with a special formula that how you can debone the ribs. So, I understand a lot of people like eating ribs, but, it's a very messy to eat ribs, because it's got a lot of bones into it, and you can't get a slab of meat out of it. And they've come up with some special process by which you can remove the bones, but still maintain the nutrition and the wholesome part of, and enjoy that experience. So these four gentlemen who are called as the sharks because they grill those people who come and pitch their ideas, are asking them that, look, what is so special about it? Anybody can reverse engineer it tomorrow and you will, lose your idea. So what's so special about it? So this gentleman takes out, he says, I've got something special for you to show. And he takes out two patent, these are USPTO patents. And he says, look, I've got the process as well as the product patent over it. So one of the sharks who's very interested in this, business idea and wants to invest into it, says that, but still anybody would read the, your process and a product patent, reinvent it, and can come up with, the same idea. So why do you think I should invest into it? So the answer given by that gentleman, which I wanted to share with the whole story, is that actually, I haven't disclosed everything. There is still some business information which I've kept to myself. So what I decoded it as, when people are obtaining their patents, are they actually disclosing everything or are they keeping something to themselves? Quote unquote, are they saying that I do not trust the patent system that well, that I could actually put all my information on the table? So just hold on to that thought. So my second story. So my, the Sunday, my lucky Sunday is still progressing, and I notice a tweet come in from the IPCAT. IPCAT with a K is a blog in the UK which was founded by Professor Jeremy Phillips. I don't know whether he's still involved with it. And What caught my eye was an article from The Economist, which was actually written way back in 1851. And that article actually talks about, does UK needs a formal patent law? I probably decoded that at that time, they were all relying on the common law and not really had a codified patent law. So there's an interesting debate in there that, why do we need the patent law? And I think the two things which they said was, what is the objective of the patent law? Is it to grant the rights or recognize those rights? And it's a bit academic, though, that, if you say that you are granting me the rights, that means what you're saying is that I actually don't have any existing or inherent or a natural rights into something that I invent, which is not probably the case. So the correct approach is probably to describe that there are rights that public recognize and state should guarantee them. That apart, there was an interesting example given there, and there in the debate, and it says that there is a baker who comes up with a formula about baking the bread, and his formula is so good that he not only can bake a good bread, but he also can make out of the same material or the same dough, three loaves of bread instead of 2 loaves of bread. Now, the public as well as the competitors are interested in that formula, not because they want a good bread, but they also want that the bread should always be available as cheap as they are getting with that 3 loaves of bread. So there is a dilemma. The patentee is saying, the person who has invented this formula is saying that, look, I want to keep this to myself, and if I disclose it, what would the state give it to me? So the state says, look, we have the patent laws, and what we will give you is the limited sole use of that right until a significant improvement comes or invention runs out of its term. So to sum up, from the 2 examples that I've given, the 2 stories that I encountered on my lucky Sunday, is that as I see as a patent holder and the state, there is a tension here. While the state can grant the exclusivity upon disclosure and, of my invention and protect my rights, a patentee is always worried that, whether I will actually get that exclusivity or not. Then the other thing is that he's also thinking, which side is the state? Is it on my side or is it on the side of the public? So the public interest comes into the play. We've seen that happening a lot in the pharmaceutical field. I won't say I have the answers to them. Probably in the next 2 days, we all will debate and we will find the answers. And with that, I would like to thank you all for taking your 2 good days here and spending time. I'm sure the debates will be interesting. And I thank my dignitaries on the dais for being here. Praveenji, a legal luminary, for his time. Dipalina Pratap, Justice Tandon for gracing the occasion. I wish you all a very enjoyable time. Thank you.